Yeah, I think it might. I mean, you look at, we've really gotten used to not having winter. In fact, the last 3 winters really have been almost non-existent. We're talking about a foot, maybe 2 feet of snow for the entire winter. So you have to go back to 2022. And most of this actually came out of that one storm where we picked up, almost 20 to 25 inches of snow. So we're right now going on level to be above average for the season. So right now we've got 43.3, and it looks like we could add another foot and a half, maybe some places adding 2 feet to it. So we're talking about a blizzard here. And I really want to kind of define what a blizzard is, because it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be snowing. What can happen is the visibility has to be down to a quarter mile or less in falling or blowing snow. So some areas may stay into blizzard conditions even though the sky can be blue above. Also, sustained winds and frequent gusts of 35 miles an hour or greater, and it has to last at least 3 hours. So that's the definition of what a blizzard is, and that's why the blizzard warning has been issued. And it's not just us. It goes all the way from the Canadian Maritimes all the way down to the Delmarva Peninsula. This is where we're looking at the visibility being reduced greatly because of the blowing snow out there. And obviously with blowing snow, you're going to have drifting snow as well. The storm is going to be tracking just offshore. We talk a lot about the track. If this track was this way, you can see what would happen. It would drag rain toward the Cape. If the storm was this way, it would pull the snow down and away from us. So that's why it's very important to get exactly where that track is going to be going. And that was the challenge this week. Where is that track going to be ending up? And this storm really didn't develop until the middle of the week way out in California. It had to go clear across. And a jog of 200 miles one way or the other is a huge impact on exactly what's going to happen to our weather. So let's check out what's going on right now. Temperatures out there to the north are cold enough that we're seeing temperatures in the 30s. It's kind of maybe a few flurries here and there. But now once you get here, now the lighter colors you see, probably not much touching the ground. Once you get these darker blues, you get more. And then look what is just offshore. That's what's going to be lifting its way in here very shortly. Steadiest snows have been out in Connecticut right now. Haven't got any storm reports in from them just yet, but I'm sure we're starting to get some light accumulation out that way. And even toward the Cape now, starting to see at least some light snow starting to fall, and that will continue to lift its way northward as we head through the evening hours. So there you see it. It's a big storm, and the thing about it is it's getting stronger. It's not getting weak and moving away. It's getting stronger and moving toward us. So we're just at the very beginning of this storm as it works its way eastward. And you can see what's happening on timeline. 10 o'clock, we're seeing the snow in here. Heavy snows after midnight. They will be with us through the morning hours. They're going to stay with us through the afternoon. Finally, around sunset tomorrow, they're going to be tapering off and everything moving offshore. In case you're wondering what's behind this, all right, you can see tomorrow an alert day. Tuesday, we have sunshine back in the forecast and 32 degrees. Your Wednesday, it's 38 degrees, but there is some light snow. By light snow, I mean about 1 or 2 inches of snow. Thursday and Friday, temperatures around 40 degrees, maybe a little bit of mixture going on Friday, and then we'll keep that warming trend going as we head into next week. But for more on this multifaceted storm, let's go over to meteorologist David Williams. David?
Yeah, Mike, with this storm, initially, those snowfall rates may not seem all that impressive. So when we're talking about 8 p.m., when that snow really moves in, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., we're talking about maybe ½ an inch to an inch per hour. But those snowfall rates really begin to ramp up once we get to midnight and beyond. At that point, we're talking about snowfall rates upwards of 2, 3, potentially even 4 inches per hour. If you haven't experienced thunder snow quite yet, there is an opportunity to do so by tomorrow morning. Not everyone will experience it, but those that happen to be in southeastern Mass, I think you have the best opportunity of hearing that thunder snow. And of course, like thunderstorms, when thunder roars, make sure to stay indoors. Now, whiteout conditions, especially overnight heading into your early Monday morning. Stay off the roads throughout the entirety of your Monday. Conditions don't start to improve until we get to Monday evening. That's when snow finally starts to wind down. Now, this time around, we're not talking about a light and fluffy snow. We're talking about a heavy and wet snow. So when you do clear the snow, you'll probably have to wait until this event wraps up. Make sure to take frequent breaks, especially throughout the eastern half of the state. This is going to be a heavy and wet snow. Once we get to Worcester County points west, this will be a light and fluffy snow. Now, getting deeper into the event, now we're talking about a consistency that's more closer to about 10 to 1. So overall, it's still not going to be a light snow to move. As far as those impacts go, with this snow intensity, I want you to keep a close eye on the window between 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. I think that's when we hit our peak as far as those snowfall rates are concerned. But not only that, we're also concerned about wind gusts. With that heavy and wet snow, along with damaging wind gusts, we're looking at scattered power outages, especially throughout your Monday morning, continuing throughout your Monday afternoon. By Monday evening, winds will start to die down, but you get the picture. This is going to be a long event.